So in my experience, willpower only gets you so far because it's a constantly energy output. So when we're trying to implement like a whole new way of being, especially if you come from a dysregulated nervous system, if you've been in survival, it is going to be a lot of energy just to change and create these changes with willpower. Hi, I'm Lillian, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about willpower. I have a lot of experience with this, just trying to force myself to change. And I want to share with you everything I have learned along the way with all my trial and all my errors and all the times I failed, what has helped me the most to support myself when creating change in my life. Besides identity shifts that I have worked on and a lot of somatic things that I have implemented to really change, I really believe that willpower will only get you so far. And when you're not used to being like this, it's really hard. And here, I'm gonna share with you the 5 things that I have noticed that supported me the most in creating change in my life. I would say, let's start first. List. Make list. Writing down and seeing a list and what you need to get done and prioritizing that list, maybe the most important, and then going down from there is going to help you so much. Because when we just try to keep everything in our head, you can't organize your thoughts so much. So you are already trying to battle like, oh, what do I have to do next? And then also implement the changes. It's just too much to keep up with. And creating a list helps you visualize, but also when you, it's like a reminder, but then also when you see yourself accomplishing these things, it's also very reward-like feeling when you see your list getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So not only this list will help you, but it helps you get on track. It just helps you. It's like you create a little containment, right? Like it's all in a place and you could actually see what needs to get done, or not just like floating, I want to create all these changes, but I don't know where to start. My favorite technique, but there's so many that, you could do the journaling, you could create notes on your phone. My favorite one was a whiteboard, just having it on the whiteboard. And it was like in a very visible place and I would see it all the time because it was a constant reminder. And like subconsciously, every time I would even pass by and I would see it, it was like registering it, right? And there was no way out of it because it was right there in my face all the time, seeing it. If having something on your phone works better, go for it. Like whatever way would work for you better, go for it. 2, have you ever heard of like, if you don't plan, you plan to fail or I can't get it in my head right now, but that same saying, you need to plan. I know, what a drag that you need to plan. Give you a little example. A million times I've gone on different diets, and every way you need to create a plan. You need to set yourself up. If you don't have a plan, you're going into something, trying to implement something new that you have never implemented before, and you're just gonna try to do it out of your head. Doesn't work. Or it could work for a short amount of time, but for you to consistently see results until it becomes your part of your identity, you will need to plan. Per se, let me give you examples. My plan, I'm gonna start exercising every single day. What's my plan? Okay, let me sign up for the gym. Let me have my schedule. Okay, let me put these things on my calendar. I set up a certain amount of time and it's blocked for me to attend this. Another, plan the night before you go work out. set up your clothes. That way when you wake up, you see the clothes, you're prepped. There's no excuse for you not to go ahead and continue with this plan. Another, with your meal plan. Some part of my routine would be every single Monday, I would go and kind of do a rough draft of what I'm gonna eat. That way, not only everything's planned out and I don't have to think so much, especially if you come home tired, if you're, like if you have other things, planning ahead will set you up for success. And that has been one of the things that have helped me the most when I plan for something. I'm very much like flow, but when you're trying to shift identities and creating something new, like new habits, new ways of being, you need to plan. There's no way around it. And if you are, okay, you could use your willpower, but willpower is only gonna get you so far. In this world of distractions, because there's so many distractions all around me, our attention gets pulled in one direction and then we forget what we're supposed to do. So when you just plan, yeah. And actually that goes into my third one. Cut out distractions. Willpower is only gonna get you so far. And like a lot of us might be really good at saying yes and no, no to things, but it's so easy to get pulled into different directions, how many of you, like I know I've done it when I go on the phone to scroll and then all of a sudden I wasted like an hour. I'm like, because you just get pulled in, your attention gets pulled in. So eliminate distractions, eliminate all distractions that are not in alignment with that new identity or with that new habit. You're gonna have to plan for this. So you're going to have to be very intentional for you to be able to shift identities and for you to be able to really remove distractions for you to focus and be able to accomplish anything. Because willpower is only going to get you so far. Motivation is only a little spark. For example, you are trying to remove something from your diet. Remove it from your entire house. All the distractions, all the things are not. That's why they tell you, like, when someone's trying to implement a diet, that's what is suggested. Because when you don't have enough willpower to fight every single day against something, remove it. It's just better. For example, there's times on my phone, I know it's such a distraction. So what do? I leave it in another room when I'm gonna focus and I'm gonna do my work because it's just a distraction. When my willpower is not always top notch, because it isn't always, like I have good days and bad days, you need to remove just distractions. It helps you out. It's going to help you out. Another thing that I was really resistant at the beginning, but then I realized that there was no reason to fight against this, was to ask for help. Ask for help. If that is friends that have already gone through this, if you need like accountability partners, if it's not your expertise, hire a coach, hire a personal trainer, hire somebody that's already done the work that could guide you in the best way. Because sometimes when we're implementing change, we might feel really alone. And when we have the right support next to us, it makes a difference. When you have people rooting for you on the days that you cannot root for yourself and that your willpower is not top notch, having somebody to like remind you it will help you. It will help you so much. And the last one, this one is probably, you might have heard it a lot of times. It's start small, start micro changes. You don't want to overwhelm yourself, especially if you've already dealt with, like, you have nervous system regulation, like a dysregulated nervous system. You don't want to overwhelm yourself. If you haven't done any identity work of like changing a lot of the beliefs behind it and you're trying to create change, if you try to be really like massive with the change, the willpower is going to be there at the beginning, but then if you don't have the right support, it's gonna fall off. Start small. Let yourself ease into it. You know, you're not gonna change or like Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So start small. Small changes and increments will give you lasting results. You know, that's something that I did really good. Like I would do one change, and once I had that one super comfortable and it was like part of my identity, then I was able to change into a different, then I was able to add another change on top of that one, and then on top of that one, and then it would just build on. So like all these little things, like I didn't have to use my willpower, right, for all of these changes, because by the time I was implementing my willpower in something else, that last change that I had done was already part of my new identity. It was like so normal, it was part of my routine. It was like I didn't have to use my willpower to do it, because it was just like my normal day now, to where it wasn't too massive of a change for me to continue. So willpower is great, and it's great if you have a strong willpower, but willpower will be there on good days, but what about the bad days? When you have systems in place, support in place, when willpower can't show up for you, then you need these things for you to be able to move forward and succeed. So those are my tips on willpower and how to support yourself, so you don't have to spend so much energy on just willpower. When you set the foundation, when you set, like, let's say nets under to help you when you're like gonna fall, by the way, like support, then you are able to go way farther in your identity shift or any habit change that you're trying to accomplish than when you're just using willpower. Willpower is great. Willpower is what we need to make the initial jump, but to continue long term and for it to be sustainable, you need to create support. Support. And that is it for today's episode. Those are the things that have helped me the most in my journey. And I hope something resonates deeply for you. Have a wonderful